My ex-wife wants me to be her best man. I was shocked. I told her I am not going to be her best man. Now my kids are really upset. Thought I'd give this a chance to see if I, 36 male, can get some insight into my situation, as I can't see what I have done that's so wrong and what I can do to remedy it. We've been married 15 years, together longer, and have 3 kids. She, 37, has a daughter from her first relationship who's now 18. I class her as mine. I've done everything for her, and we have a 16-year-old and 13-year-old sons. Now, she was upfront and honest when we got together that she was bi, and it was never an issue last year until she said she thought she was ultimately a lesbian and had fallen in love with her now fiancé, 35. And it led to a divorce, as I was unwilling to open the relationship or consider a poly situation. So we've been divorced a year, although we're still friends and have a good co-parenting relationship. Even though we're good, I still am suffering and can't say I'm even close to moving on yet. The kids live with her primarily, although I see them multiple times a week and can say if I didn't have them, I'd have nothing. So basically, I got a call from my ex earlier on in the week saying she had to tell me something, that she's now engaged. I was shocked. Basically, she said they're not going to do the typical thing and have a long engagement. They're looking at getting married as soon as lockdown has been lifted, and they're on about moving in together as soon as possible. And there's more. She said she wants to have me as her best man, as she still considers me her best friend and can't think of anyone else she'd rather have there. Suffice to say, I told her I wasn't happy with it and said I'm not going to be her best man, or don't think it's a good idea for me to be at the wedding, and definitely don't like the idea of moving someone in around my kids after a year. Now my kids love the fiancé. My kids are always talking about her. Suffice to say, she was upset, and we haven't spoken since. I mean, if that was just it, then I wouldn't be that upset. I mean, in what way does going to a wedding seeing my wife marry the woman who she left me for seems like a good idea? And to be the best man. My kids found out, though, somehow, are really upset. My daughter particularly really went off and said she thought I was better than that, and if I don't go to the wedding, she'll never talk to me again. The youngest two don't want to come and see me this week and also have refused to talk to me. I'm still close and have a relationship with me in-laws, and they've also have been on my case saying I should go, especially for my kids' sake. Here's where I need help and someone to talk to. What do I do? I mean, the last thing I want to do is be false and go to a wedding watching the woman who I thought I'd be with forever marry someone else. Yet I hate the thought that my kids are suffering, and the prospect of not having them in my life, even if it's for a short while, is like torture. Help. Update. Basically, everything all moved forward today. So I basically thought I'd be best to reach out to my daughter, so I messaged her along the lines of, "Hey, I know you're not talking to me now, but I think we really need to talk." To my surprise, she agreed and came over very quickly. Basically, I said to her that as she's an adult, I won't sugarcoat things now. I'm really not in a good place, and her mom getting married to her girlfriend and asking me to be best man is a bit too much for me when I'm struggling to move on with my life. She said she sort of understands, but it hit her close to home. She then came out to me as a lesbian herself. She said she's known for a while now. She told her mom a while ago, but wasn't sure how to tell me. And because of the way I reacted to the wedding, she was worried I wouldn't be able to accept it. I reassured her that I love her dearly and I'm proud of her for being honest with me, and stressed the way I feel about her mom and her now fiancé is nothing to do with the fact they're lesbians, but because she's my ex-wife and I can't just turn my feelings off like that. I'd feel exactly the same if her mom was marrying a dude. We hugged it out, and she said she'd talk to her brothers and see if she can get them to come around. Because they live with mom and see the fiancé often, they see her and love her a lot, so they don't understand. I said to her I can't promise I'd go to the wedding eventually, but if I feel up to it I may try, but it will be hard for me. While she was here, she FaceTimed her mom from her phone and I got chance to talk to my ex. I basically was honest, said I feel like she blindsided me and sprung it on me without thinking about how I feel, especially putting me on the spot about making me her best man. I said the invitation to the wedding was one thing, but that was a bit too much for me. She took it all in and apologized, and admitted it's because she's all loved up and her family are giving her all the platitudes about how happy and proud they are, so she got caught up in the moment. She asked me how I feel about it now. I said in all honesty, it's a bit too much to consider at the moment, but I definitely am not going to be her best man regardless. She understands, and said she won't expect that of me. But if I didn't want to go to the wedding itself, would I be interested in going to just the reception? I said in all honesty I don't know if I can, and she shouldn't expect me to. She agreed and said she'll leave it to me, and will try to understand if I can, but would be made up if I can. The boys were there, so I asked if she could put them on, but they didn't want to talk to me. Honestly, that feels like a punch in the balls, so I left it there before it started me crying and she saw it, and let the daughter leave so I could be on my own. I've never liked her to see me too emotional, especially cry. So there you have it. We've all made peace, as such, but there's a long way to go yet. Edit. A lot of people have said about her cheating. While she did meet her now fiancé before we split, I don't believe there was physical intimacy. Possibly an emotional thing, but I don't believe they got together until we split. Edit 2. A lot of people have picked up on not showing emotion around my kids. I do show emotion around them. I'm loving, funny, affectionate, humble, etc., and I do show sadness at things like funerals, but I generally don't like them to see me cry, especially at things like this.